If you are interested in learning more about SheepBytes before you commit to purchasing it, go to www.sheepbytes.ca on your internet browser. A note that SheepBytes works best with Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox 8 or newer. Once you're on the first screen, scroll down to the bottom where you see additional information. Click on the demo to get more information about SheepBytes. Again, scrolling down gives you some basic information, and any one of these places you could stop and do more reading at your leisure. Let's click to launch the Sheep demo now. So for most of you, this is probably your first entrance into SheepBytes. The first thing we will do is go to the first ration on the list, click on the box to the left of it, and then move to the top button where it says Open Ration. And here is SheepBytes on a demonstration basis. Just take a casual look around to some of the major features. At the top, you'll see a name of a ration. In this case, it's called Growing Lamb Demo. And to the right of that describes exactly what we mean by that growing lamb. A growing lamb, large breed, weight 65 pounds, average daily gain target of 0.4 pounds, and an age of less than 6 months. So this ration has been pre-formulated by one of our staff. You can see that this ration now contains barley silage, oat grain, and 32% lamb supplement. This first column is where we will ultimately do our ration formulation. The next section, or the middle part of the screen, shows how the recommended nutrients per day for this class of animal line up in comparison to the amount supplied. Again, the basics of ration formulation, wanting to make the requirements and the supply be approximately equal. Notice the color coding that SheepBytes has incorporated. In the dry matter column here, we're a little bit higher in dry matter than what the requirement has called for, and because we are over more than 5%, that cell has turned yellow. For the net energy calculation, we are right on, and that cell is green. If you move over to the calcium cell, you can see that that is red. And that's because we have a significant surplus of calcium in this ration beyond the requirement. Reds mean that you should be interested in looking closely at that and determining or interpreting whether that is an important factor to correct or not. Look at the scroll bar here. Now I'm taking the scroll bar and moving it down so that we can see the full number of columns, the nutrient columns, that are available. Most of these don't show up on your screen in one shot and are required to be scrolled to in order to read them. The bottom section here is called ratios. This supplies information that your nutritionist, your veterinarian, your feed company person may be available to help you interpret. Again, the color coding says the green is bang on. The yellow may be a little high or low, and the red may be a little too high or low again. Some of the ratios have no colors where there is no recommended correct amount. Things like the forage dry matter as a percent of body weight, in this case 2.0, the feed to gain ratio 6.0, percent forage in the ration 47.2, and the concentrate to forage ratio 1.12 to 1. These have no desirable targets there, and therefore there's no color coding of those cells. Now click on the back arrow in the upper left of your screen, right here. That takes us back to the ration list. Another click takes us back to the main screen again where we entered SheepBytes. Now we want to take a look at some of the other features in SheepBytes. Click on Features. And here again is some screenshots of the program. It will automatically scroll through these in order to give you a little bit of an overview of what's there. So most producers will want to look at some of this information and pause on it if they wish in order to get an idea of what's going to happen when they eventually do start using SheepBytes. Another feature is our FAQ page. Up here, frequently asked questions. Why ration balancing software? A brief explanation that you might want to consider. Why not use paper and pencil to formulate rations like we used to do? Can I purchase my subscription the old-fashioned way? How many rations can I make? What technology do you need to run SheepBytes? And finally, why can't I formulate a ration that has no red cells showing up? Some of these things we'll be covering in future videos, but you can get a glimpse into the answers by working in this section. Now we're at the bottom of the page, and I want to comment that we've got two things there in the support area. The first is the Quick Start Guide. The Quick Start Guide is a written format that allows you to follow step-by-step instructions on how to basically start SheepBytes. Under Other Information, we'll also find the Technical Reference Guide. This is basically a document that will give you detailed information on the various nutrients that are followed in SheepBytes. Of interest is the fact that it will also be available from the Help button when you're actually in SheepBytes. So if you now have enough information to make a decision on purchasing SheepBytes, you can go to the button here and click to register. And there is the count information that you require to be entered in order to get into SheepBytes. There are basically two versions of SheepBytes available to you. Most producers will purchase the individual version. It allows the user to store up to 25 rations for their flock. The commercial version is for feed industry consultants and veterinarians who formulate rations for a number of clients. In this case, each client will have their own folder in which an unlimited number of rations can be stored. With the commercial version, the user can also send and receive active ration files via email. So that ends our basic exploration of SheepBytes. Hopefully you have seen its value and have decided to invest in this management tool. If that is the case, you may want to proceed to the following video segments that will help you to learn to make full use of all the features available in SheepBytes.